ETA Math, what's up? Today I wanted to go over a proof. This one has a couple steps to it, but it shouldn't be too difficult if we just keep everything organized. But whenever I do a proof, I like to make sure that I take the more difficult side and I simplify it. So if I'm looking, I'm going to notice this stuff is kind of crazy, and I would rather simplify this than to make this 1 minus 10 squared t expand. So the first thing I'm going to do is say, okay, I see a binomial to the fourth root right up here. And I know that this can be factored. So what I'm going to do is factor it out. I'm going to take cosine squared that looks atrocious. Forgive me. What I'm going to do is take cosine squared t, and then I'm going to have minus sine squared t, and then I'm going to multiply it by the positive form of this binomial. So all we did was factored out cosine squared and sine squared from both of these pairs. And then we're going to leave the denominator the same. And I'm not going to rewrite, no, I will. I don't want to be lazy. It's going to look sloppy, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we're going to have 1 minus 10 squared t. So now that we're here, we have to make sure that we remember some of our trig rules. So right up here, I see a Pythagorean identity. And this Pythagorean identity is going to equal 1. So when I rewrite this, we're going to be left with cosine squared t minus sine squared t times 1 all over cosine squared t. And then we're going to keep the identity the same just because we're going to keep dragging it along so we can show how we're proving it. Then the next step, we're going to split this fraction. So as you can see each step, I'm kind of labeling what I'm doing. At first, we factored. Then after we factored, we took the identity of what we had available, truthfully. Now we're going to split the fraction up, and I'll show you what that should look like. So it should be cosine squared t divided by cosine squared t minus, because we're going to take this sine squared t over cosine squared t. All of this still is going to equal 1 minus 10 squared t. If we see this, we know this simplifies to 1. And sine over cosine equals 10. I should put theta here, even though it's t. Right? This is an identity as well. So right here, we're going to just say this becomes 10 squared t. So the last part of the problem is really just rewriting everything in a more formal way. So we're going to have 1 minus, because that's what this became, 1 minus tan squared t equals the same thing we have over here on the right, which is 1 minus tan squared t. Here is our proof. I'm going to put a check mark next to it, just so you can feel good about yourself, whoever's out there watching, because we did it. There you are. So let's continue to learn, love, grow together. And yeah, that's a proof. There's a couple steps to it. Some identities in there that's kind of, hidden, but slightly obvious if you've done your memorization that you needed to. So good luck to everybody out there. Appreciate you tuning in.